Hey folks, welcome back. I'm Eric, the dude who grows food, and today we are going to look at the compost pile because it has been 121 days since we first put Bay 4's material. Well, it's in Bay 4 now. It started in Bay 1, and that was on March 2nd. We built that pile, and every month we went from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. And that's what the whole system was set up for, to have a 3-turn process to get it from 1 to 4, 120 days, 4 months, and then it heads out to the garden. Now, in my situation, because the garden doesn't have bed space available for compost, I built this piece over here. I did that last month because I needed to make room to get 3 into 4. So what was in 4 went into there, so that has to go out as well. But today's video is really just kind of an overview of, what I did from day 1 to day now and what the material looks like, because I was really curious to know what the system could produce in 120 days. Now, the material that went into Bay 1, if you are new to this little video segment, because this is the 4th video I've had of this, it was a combination of deciduous leaf fall that I've had staged from last year and a semi-decomposed pile of Bermuda grass that I ripped out of the garden. I kind of layered those two materials in Bay 1, and then every month just flipped it over, watered it in, kept it going. It got to about 120 degrees in Bay 1, never hotter because there was no real fresh nitrogen material. But I think there was enough biology in that broken down organic matter, the Bermuda grass, to really keep things going. Because when I look at Bay 4 now, and I kind of shears the top, it does look like we've got some pretty good decomposition on some of those leaves. So enough of me rambling, let's take a look. So this is the material, folks. This is the top. It's dry. I never actually covered it with cardboard to keep it damp this past month. I probably should have. I'm really not that concerned about it at this point. But let's go ahead and see if I can't dig in a little bit to show you what's going on underneath. Now, I never actually put a thermometer into this pile at this point because I really wasn't concerned about what the temperature was going to be. I really figured at this point what we're going to see when I start digging this back, if things are going pretty well, is more of the organic matter, a little more damp. Because I did water the pile in a couple of times this past month. Plus, we've had a pretty humid summer so far. And I'm expecting to see some biological life in the form of bugs and worms, etc. But yeah, enough of me chatting about it. Let's start looking into it. And I really just want to be careful because I don't want to start stabbing worm. Wow, that's fluffy. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with this. This is gorgeous. I mean, I could still see, that's plastic. That doesn't need to be in there. I can still see leaves in their original form. I say in the original form. They're dark. You can see they're decomposing. They're fragile. They're still matted in some areas. But as far as a functional mulch for the top of a bed, I'd be more than happy to throw, an inch of this stuff on top. I'm a little surprised I'm not seeing a bit more life in here. Maybe the worms just haven't found their way up this high. I'll know tomorrow or the following day when I start digging in a bit more. Oh, you know what? No, there we go. Let's see if in the palm of my hand we got a small little red wiggler there. So there are some, and I don't feel any real heat in here. This is not a warm pile at this point, so I would, any worms that find their way in should not be getting cooked. But as we get more and more to the center, a bit more warmth in there. But yeah, I'm pleased with that material. That's a great top dressing for a bed. And I am I'm not in a position right now where I can use it. So I may just toss it over the side to the next bin over. I've got to remove more strawberry beds, and then I've got to get this material out on top of those so we can continue decomposing and feeding that soil for whatever the next crop is going to be. But let me go ahead and get the tripod down to ground level, or closer to ground level, and we'll go ahead and take the front of this off and take a look at the profile. Now that is a good looking profile. I see a lot of decomposition there. I'm happy with that. Of course, I do not like the Bermuda grass that somehow always seems to manage to find its way everywhere. But other than that, I mean, if you go back and look at the previous videos and look at the profile as it comes down, you can see that the top is dried out, and that's why that didn't decompose, doesn't look quite as nice as the rest. But again, as it gets put out into the beds, everything's gonna stay damp. The soil is gonna break it down some more, and it's gonna be in a position to grow some amazing plants next year. And while I've got you here, let's take a look at this final little section over here. We'll pull the cardboard back and take a look at what that looks like, because that's going to be the first thing that actually goes onto the beds. And then this pile to my left in bay 4 I may just pull it straight out of there and go straight to the beds, or if I don't have beds cleared for it, I may go ahead and toss it into this one, which again is just another turn, and it's going to keep decomposing. So yeah, this one looks like it's in about the same condition as the other one. We've got some stick bits here, chunky wood, not worried about that. And as we dig in, I mean, I'm sitting on a lot of organic matter right now that's going to be fantastic for the garden. This is probably at least 2 yards worth, because this bin is probably it's a little bigger than 4x4, and that's probably about 1.5 feet high. This bin is about 4x4 and about 2 feet high. So yeah, we're probably looking at about 2 yards of material there. That can, I'd have to do the math to figure out what 1 inch of material would look like on about 60 square foot bed, give or take, 60 to 75. So I don't know how many beds this material will cover. Not nearly enough, but it's a good start. So yeah, folks, 5 videos later, yep, 5, not 4, we're done. We've got a 120-day compost sitting in that bay 4, and whether or not it gets flipped into my staging area or straight out to the garden, it's going to be put to really good use. And I think this system, I put it together last, I think it was early September, and this is the first time I've run material through the whole thing, bay 1 to bay 4, and it's working exactly as I planned. Not too many hitches. Biggest challenge I've got, the roof's kind of low, but other than that, I can throw the material over the side really easily, and I don't really see any improvements I want to make at this point. So yeah, I'm pleased with how it's going, and I think if I can keep up the month-to-month flip, which is going to be a lot harder than I realized, being that beginning of every month I got to flip 4 piles, and it's really hot out here, so that's going to be a bit of a toll on the old body, but nothing I hope I can't handle. If I have to space in a few extra days, I got to space a few extra days in there. But I hope you enjoyed this journey. I've enjoyed filming it. And if you have any questions, please post below. Happy to talk further. Composting is such a blast. And until the next one, take care.